I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I am James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day. Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now, and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 37th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 9, verses 8 to 17, discussing God's covenant with mankind never again to destroy this earth in a flood. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis 9:18 and read through verse 29. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So now let's read Genesis chapter 9, beginning at verse 18. The sons of Noah who went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the people of the whole earth were dispersed. Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk, and lay uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backward, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Here again we're reminded that the sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We're also told here that Ham is the father of Canaan, a fact that will become important in a few moments. After the flood, Noah became a vine dresser, or one who grew grapes. There was nothing wrong with that. But what Noah did with the fruit of the grapes was wrong. He used it to make alcoholic wine and became drunk. Drunkenness is always condemned in Scripture, such as in Galatians 5:21. Now there are those today who advocate for the drinking of alcohol as a beverage so long as you don't get drunk. What people fail to realize is that drunkenness is a process that begins with the first drink. That's one of the reasons why medications containing alcohol tell you not to operate heavy machinery, because even in low doses, alcohol can affect your senses. Genesis 9 is just one example of what happens when alcohol is drunk as a beverage. Noah got so drunk that it caused him to walk around naked in his tent. Nakedness was shameful from Genesis 3:7 on, so God clothed us and expected us to remain clothed. Ham, Noah's youngest son, saw his father's nakedness, and instead of covering it, he went and told his brothers. We don't know why Ham did this, but it is evident that Ham did not act righteously in this matter. Noah's two older sons went backwards into their father's tent so as not to see his nakedness, and they covered him up. They respected their father, while Ham seemingly did not. When Noah awoke, he cursed Canaan, Ham's son, for the actions of his father. Ham would have been included in this curse, but this curse was not just on Ham, but Canaan his son. The curse was that Canaan would be a servant to his brothers. People have used this verse to justify the slavery of African nation, Ham's descendants, but such is a misuse of Scripture. Canaan's descendants would become Shem's servants when Israel took the promised land. Those who remained, the Phoenicians, the Carthaginians, and the Egyptians, would become servants to the Persians, Macedonians, and Romans later. They would be the descendants of Japheth. I'd like you to note here, though, that this prophecy didn't say they would be servants forever, just that they would be servants to their brothers at one time or another. This prophecy did come to pass, just like Noah said, but it does not make Shem and Japheth master races and Ham inferior, nor does it justify the brutal enslavement and transportation of the African peoples that occurred over the past 500 years. Racism is evil, and such should not be espoused by anyone, but especially those claiming to be Christians. Noah then blessed the Lord, the God of Shem, maybe suggesting that Shem was more religious than his two brothers. Then he asked God to enlarge the house of Japheth. It is believed that Japheth's descendants would populate Europe and East Asia, the largest of Earth's populations. They would dwell in the tents of Shem because these nations would at times conquer Israel. But Israel would never be exterminated, for she was God's chosen people through whom the Messiah would come. The chapter concludes by saying that Noah lived to 950 years old, 350 years after the flood, and then he died. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 10, verse 1.